all Harry and Meghan need to do is prove to us that she popped those babies out. And that's all they need to do. And if they don't, it is unfair on the children. It's also unfair on the royal family.
I think she must be incredibly jealous of the fact that Prince Harry can garner some of the positive headlines while she's being torn apart by the Hollywood Reporter and everybody going LOL at Us Weekly magazine. Like, this has got to be, is this a parody? This has got to be a...
She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated.
Buckingham Palace or Prince William set a trap for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and were they gullible enough to fall into...
This is absolutely insane that they thought they could get away with it, especially Meghan Markle and Harry. The con of the century, two cons of the century in the form of two royal children included in the line of succession.
Something serious just shook the palace, and people are watching closely because this situation is getting intense fast. At exactly 9:07 a.m. on February 12, 2026, Buckingham Palace released a statement that immediately grabbed global attention. The message was formal, but the meaning behind it was hard to ignore. It confirmed that Prince William had refused to accept a private DNA report submitted by Prince Harry. That report was meant to prove that Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor is Harry's biological son and should be recognized within the royal system. But this wasn't just a simple disagreement between brothers. This move came off as a full institutional pushback. The message was clear. No child, regardless of claims, would be recognized without verification handled under official royal authority. In other words, William is demanding a second review, and not just from any lab, but through processes controlled by the Crown itself. Now the situation feels bigger than a family dispute. People are looking at the bigger picture, the standing of two royal children, the reputations involved, and what this could mean for the monarchy moving forward. This all became public when Prince Harry's legal team reportedly submitted a detailed file to Clarence House.
With either Archie or Lily, and it needs to happen. They need to prove that those children, Meghan and Harry, are not entitled to privacy in this matter. And their privacy is trumped by our right to know that no bastard is going to sit on the throne of this country.
We've seen Meghan Markle put out more and more content connected to her children, whether that's the pregnancy video that made the entire world cringe from secondhand embarrassment.
Did Meghan Markle use a surrogate? That's been something posited literally for well over 3 years when it comes to her firstborn son Archie and even her daughter Lilibet. And many people even wonder, are their children even real?
The package included a DNA test from a California lab, along with supporting documents connected to Archie's birth. The goal was to reestablish Archie and Lilibet within the royal structure after years away, especially as Harry has hinted at wanting to return to the UK. But Prince William's reaction was immediate and calculated. According to reports, he brought back a special advisory group focused on verifying royal lineage during disputes. Shortly after, a decision was made to pause Archie's potential recognition, pointing to what were described as unresolved inconsistencies. Sources claim this led to an internal memo, now being called the Bloodline Files, outlining several concerns that, according to insiders, still haven't been fully addressed. Among the points being discussed, there are claims about differences in public images from Meghan Markle's pregnancy timeline that some say raised questions. Others have pointed out the lack of certain traditional royal documentation that has typically been included in past royal births. There's also a tension around changes made to Archie's birth certificate and how that compares to previous royal records. On top of that, the first official photo of Archie has been analyzed heavily, with some saying it appeared more staged than candid. Another claim that's been circulating involves a reported financial transaction linked to a clinic known for private services, though the full context behind that has not been clearly confirmed.
She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. Who the hell picks fucking berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants? Literally no one on earth does that. And like this garden, which is like the most over the top. Like we're all supposed to go, Maureen, to make our breakfast in the morning out to our gardens and pick our berries, our raspberries, our strawberries, our blueberries, our snozberries, and cut our mint, and then cut our flowers that are edible. But don't worry, she's a woman of the people. You can grow those just on your windowsill at home in New York, your edible flowers.
And don't forget your local beekeeper.
Yeah.
Your local beekeeper.
Oh, yeah, because she has a bee hive, which she goes to. That's how they open the whole series with her bees. And like, don't worry, if you don't have this, just go to your local beekeeper. Clearly, we're living in different worlds.
Right now, this situation is unfolding in real time, and while there are a lot of claims and discussions, not everything has been officially verified. But one thing is clear, this has turned into a major moment for the royal family, and people are paying very close attention to what happens next. Things didn't calm down after that first decisions ademwes. They actually got even more intense behind the scenes. According to insiders, the clinic linked to the situation is known for handling highly private gestational services, offering full confidentiality to its clients. What really caught attention, though, was a reported internal audit carried out by cyber specialists previously connected to British intelligence units. These experts, now working with palace security teams, allegedly found encrypted notes tied to a financial transaction. Those notes referenced a non-disclosure agreement involving a third party, which some believe could point to a private arrangement that hasn't been fully explained.
What is wrong with Meghan Markle dropping it low? Apparently to some people, everything.
Wait, no way this can actually be real.
So listen, Meghan Markle has the entire internet in a chokehold after dropping a throwback video of her throwing it back while pregnant with her hubby Prince Harry. Now listen, the clip shows Meghan and Harry dancing in a hospital room to the song Baby Mama, and she shared it in celebration of her daughter Lilibet's 4th birthday. In her caption, she said, 4 years ago today, this also happened. Both of our children were a week past their due dates, so when spicy food, all that walking, and acupuncture didn't work, there was only one thing left to do. But you already know people had a lot to say.
Wait, no way this can actually be real. Her belly actually does look really fake.
Was Meghan Markle pregnant with twins? That bump is insane. Did she have to give one to the Illuminati for all the fame and fortune she got or something?
However, it wasn't all negative. Some people were actually feeling Meghan's little 1-2-1-2.
There's nothing I love more than an unbothered black woman.
Okay, Meghan, she got the Megan Thee Stallion knees. Is y'all tired? I just need to know. No, y'all not tired, because I know y'all gonna be dragging her while she's sharing this nice video.
Prince William has reportedly stayed composed throughout all of this, making it clear publicly that his stance isn't personal. One insider claims he said, "This is not a rejection of my brother. This is a firewall to protect the monarchy's credibility." But behind closed doors, people are saying the tension is definitely real. Sources close to royal advisors suggest that William has paused any move to reintroduce Harry's children into official records until a DNA review is completed under UK-based authority. On the other side, Prince Harry is said to feel this is just unnecessary delay, believing his evidence already proves his case. Meghan Markle hasn't spoken publicly about the situation, but her legal team has hinted that broader legal routes could be considered if the issue continues. Meanwhile, insiders are starting to worry this could open the door to a deeper review of past decisions tied to the Sussexes' departure, including documents and agreements that were never fully made public. Now attention is shifting to the United States, specifically to a private lab in California where the DNA test was reportedly conducted. Harry's team claims the results showed an extremely high probability that he is Archie's father, but William's side quickly questioned how the test was handled. One major concern being raised is how the DNA samples were delivered. Reports suggest they weren't transferred through a strictly verified process, which is usually expected in cases like this. There are also questions about the lab itself, as it doesn't appear to meet certain UK forensic standards typically required for official recognition. People within the Palace Advisory Group have even suggested the process may have been more focused on producing a result rather than independently confirming one. That alone has added another layer of doubt to the situation. The lawyer involved, Douglas Hall, is now also under heavy attention. He helped organize the testing and filed formal requests on Harry's behalf. But things escalated when an internal email from his office surfaced, with the subject line saying, "We need optics, not science." The message suggested prioritizing how the results would appear rather than the process itself.
To be quite honest, when I first saw it, I thought this was a sort of spoof that had been made up by somebody because it was so utterly ridiculous. And I'm very old-fashioned. I'm afraid I'd never heard of twerking. It seemed to me that it had all the elements of contradiction which we see so often, in so much as that we're told that she wants privacy, and there can be no greater invasion of privacy than going into a maternity bedroom with a girl about to give birth, holding her tummy in a particularly strange way, and with her husband sort of larking about in the background. I mean, the whole thing seemed to me completely ridiculous. A friend of mine reminded me what Martin Charteris once said about Fergie, vulgar, vulgar, vulgar. I think it's a very good comment. It's this old thing of continually reinventing themselves or finding new ways to keep in front of the media, and they're very successful at it, but there's nothing consistent, if you understand me. There's no sort of direction in what they do. It's like one thing and another thing and another thing, and maybe that's what you have to do to keep in front of the public eye, but it doesn't look very constructive. I predict that as the children grow up, there'll be a certain amount of discomfort when they realize that they have been used the whole way along.
Hall has responded by saying the email was misunderstood and taken out of context, but that explanation hasn't stopped people from raising eyebrows. Adding even more complexity, reports claim that DNA samples were sent to multiple labs at the same time. One lab in London received a sample, while another in Zurich reportedly got a similar one but never completed testing. Investigators believe this could suggest backup plans were in place in case one route didn't work out. At this point, officials reviewing the situation are saying it doesn't look like a straightforward confirmation process. Instead, it's being treated as something far more complicated and possibly carefully managed from multiple angles. This whole situation is starting to feel less like a family issue and more like something straight out of a high-stakes documentary. From the outside, people are noticing a pattern: a private lab in California, a legal team based overseas, and a wave of media coverage that seemed to roll out at just the right time, all while the palace stayed quiet publicly. But behind the scenes, things were clearly moving fast, now that silence is beginning to crack. According to sources connected to royal advisory groups, a classified intelligence file, reportedly created by former intelligence analysts, has been brought back into focus. The file, known internally as File Sigma, is said to center around concerns tied to lineage verification and events dating back several years.
Did you see my baby mama dance? I mean, stop it. First of all, can I just tell you, the timing of that, we maybe watched it like 20 times yesterday, and I was like, is that her?
Oh my God.
Is that Prince Harry there with the fingers and the... I was like, okay. That's you in a way that we kind of haven't been able to see you before. And I did like a little secret cheer because I was like, well, that's what I kind of want to see from you. Like, I want to see that happiness and that honesty and that, like, I don't give a f.
But also, by the way, that wasn't yesterday.
No,
that was 4 years ago. So it's also a really great reminder that with all the noise or whatever people do, there's still a whole life, a real, authentic, fun life that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own terms.
At the heart of it all is a financial transaction that's raising a lot of questions. Reports claim that in early May 2019, just days before Archie's birth was officially announced, a payment close to $500,000 was sent from an entity linked to the Sussex side to a private medical facility near the Mexico border. This clinic is known in certain circles for handling highly confidential reproductive services for international clients. Now, it's important to say the full context behind that payment hasn't been publicly confirmed, but investigators reportedly traced the funds through multiple accounts before reaching the clinic, which added to the curiosity around the situation. One insider described it like this: "This wasn't a routine medical payment. It looked like a full-service arrangement. Still, that remains an interpretation, not a confirmed fact. This has also brought back older online discussions from 2019 that questioned aspects of Meghan Markle's pregnancy appearances. At the time, those claims were widely dismissed, but now some reports suggest internal reviews of past images have been revisited. According to these claims, certain photos taken on the same day appeared to show noticeable differences, which some analysts have pointed out. However, it's worth noting that image interpretation can vary, and none of this has been officially confirmed as evidence of anything unusual. There are also unverified statements from a former staff member suggesting that preparations at Frogmore Cottage didn't match what might typically be expected. Again, this is based on anonymous claims and hasn't been independently confirmed. All of this has reportedly led to serious internal discussions involving senior members of the royal family and constitutional advisors. Under royal protocol, any child being formally recognized must meet strict documentation and verification standards. And right now, sources say there isn't full agreement on whether those standards have been met.
It sounds self-indulgent. I'm away for one night, so I record myself and I take a book and I read the book and I sit and I hold the book and I'm like, I do not want green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am. Would you like them in the dark? Would you like them in the park? I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am. Would you like them on a train? Would you like them in the rain? And then I finish reading this book to myself, a thin book, and then I send it to my husband who's doing bedtime because that's normal. Papa's in bed with the kids. That's normal. And I say, show them the video of me reading the book as opposed to you just being a dad and reading the book. That annoys me. Stop condescending us. That doesn't make you sound like a better mom. It makes you sound like really kind of into yourself in a way. Like, that's just not necessary. It's annoying for your kids who are 3 and 5 and therefore don't have an attention span to watch mom read a book while all of it just really, really sent me.
Some experts are saying the situation goes beyond family dynamics. One royal historian reportedly explained that it touches on how the monarchy maintains its structure and long-standing traditions. Prince Harry, through his legal team, has pushed back strongly, suggesting that unnecessary doubt is being used to delay recognition. From his side, the position remains clear that his children should be acknowledged without further obstacles. Meanwhile, others close to palace circles argue that procedures exist for a reason and must be followed carefully, regardless of personal feelings. Then, just as things reached another level, a sealed file marked for urgent review was reportedly delivered from Buckingham Palace to the Royal Register offices late on February 11th, 2026. And that move alone has people wondering what could be coming next. Things just escalated to a level no one was expecting. Inside that sealed file was a formal order signed by Prince William, acting on behalf of the Crown's Succession Council. The directive called for an immediate lockdown of the Royal Household Register, putting a pause on any updates connected to Archie and Lilibet until a full bloodline review is completed. What this means, in simple terms, both children are now in a kind of royal limbo. This is no longer just a disagreement within the family. It's turning into a serious constitutional situation that could expose long-hidden royal procedures. The Royal Household Register has been a sealed record for generations, tracking the official status of royal descendants. But according to sources, something like this has never happened in modern times. Prince William reportedly activated a rarely used clause that allows lineage claims to be paused if there are unresolved questions. One former royal archivist described it as the ultimate control switch, a measure that hasn't been used in over a century. As a result, any titles, privileges, or formal recognition tied to Archie and Lilibet are currently on hold. Reports suggest their profiles were even removed from active internal systems while the review is ongoing.
I genuinely thought it was a spoof.
Meghan Markle's latest Instagram video to mark her daughter's 4th birthday has sparked a wave of conspiracy theories. The couple were dancing in a hospital room in an attempt to induce Lilibet's birth, but the throwback clip from 2021 has left fans questioning its motive and authenticity.
So people are saying that the bump that Meghan's dancing with is quite lumpy, but I think what that is actually is the scanners scanning for the heartbeat. So I'm not bought into that part of the conspiracy theory that she's just shoved a pillow under her top or under her dress. But I would say that she's very mobile for someone with such a big, heavy bump. I just think, I don't believe the conspiracy theory. I just don't think she'd dare be in a hospital suite, all kind of with a cannula in, if this was some sort of moon bump. However, I do wonder whether her posting this is some kind of response to those conspiracy theories that it's a fake pregnancy bump.
But this situation isn't just about William and Harry, anymore. King Charles III has now been pulled into the spotlight after reports surfaced about a private memo he wrote in late 2025. While the full contents remain classified, sources say it focused on concerns surrounding trust and verification tied to the Sussex children. The memo was reportedly written after Charles received internal briefings about timeline inconsistencies. Insiders claim it may include recommendations on how to handle situations where royal lineage cannot be fully confirmed through traditional processes. One source described Charles as being deeply torn, balancing his role as a grandfather with his responsibilities tied to the crown. In the end, reports suggest he supported William's decision to move forward with the review. On the other side, Meghan Markle's legal team has taken action, filing a motion in the UK High Court. They argue that the move to pause recognition oversteps boundaries and raises serious legal questions, especially since the children hold dual citizenship. Their filing also included personal documentation and statements supporting their position, including a letter from Tyler Perry. The argument is clear that the children's identity and recognition should not be controlled by internal royal systems alone. So far, the palace hasn't responded publicly, and that silence is raising even more questions. Behind closed doors, it's being reported that opinions within the royal family are split. Some are backing William's strict approach, while others are said to be uncomfortable with how far things have gone. Meanwhile, sources close to Prince Harry say he's extremely frustrated, feeling like this situation has gone far beyond what it should have been. At this point, this is no longer just about documents or procedures. It's turned into something much bigger, a test of how the monarchy handles internal conflict, tradition, and public trust all at once, and with everything now paused. And under review, people are watching closely to see what decision comes next. Things have now reached a level where official systems are being activated, and this situation is turning into something much bigger than anyone expected.
I think she must be incredibly jealous of the fact that Prince Harry can garner some of the positive headlines while she's being torn apart by the Hollywood Reporter and everybody going LOL at Us Weekly magazine. Like, this has got to be, is this a parody? This has got to be a joke.
It is causing issues at home. They are both obsessed with their reputation. He knows that his wife is dragging him down professionally, and that takes toll. We do now have confirmation from People magazine that Harry is effectively going to go back to being a pseudo-royal, so he should never have left the royal family, and that Meghan is just going to focus on making money.
What it is a blueprint for a professional divorce. It could bleed into in other aspects of their life, and that is creating a real strain on their relationship. He loathes the idea of chasing stardom with Netflix and Spotify, but this is Meghan Markle making her dreams come true.
As of February 12, 2026, the Royal Commission for Lineal Ethics and Continuity, known as RCLEC, is now fully operational. With the Royal Register locked, Prince William issued a directive stopping any formal use of the titles Prince or Princess for Archie and Lilibet until everything is reviewed. This isn't a permanent removal, but in practice, it has real impact. Palace staff, officials, and even event organizers have reportedly been instructed not to use royal titles for the children in any official setting. The reasoning, according to insiders, is to protect the institution while questions are still being examined. But it doesn't stop at titles. Attention has also turned toward Princess Diana's estate, which was meant to be passed down through her sons and eventually to their children. Now, with the current situation, there are discussions about whether those funds should be temporarily held back until a final decision is made. Sources claim Prince William has already spoken with trustees about possibly placing those funds into a holding arrangement. If true, this would delay access until everything is resolved, adding even more tension to an already complicated situation. Prince Harry is said to be deeply upset by this, reportedly feeling that this goes against what his mother would have wanted. According to one account, he expressed that Diana valued emotional connection over formalities. On the other side, advisors connected to the palace argue that this is exactly why careful steps are needed. They say responsibilities tied to royal assets and legacy must be handled with strict standards, regardless of personal feelings. Now, all eyes are on the RCLEC panel. For the first time, In modern memory, this commission is fully active, bringing together legal experts, historians, and senior advisors. Their role is to review whether the requirements for royal recognition have been properly met. And it's not just about one document or one test. Reports suggest the commission has requested a wide range of materials, including official records, timelines, and supporting documentation connected to both children. The goal is to build a complete picture before making any final call.
We see a lot of the back of their heads. Now we see half the girl's face. I mean, it's it beggars belief, quite honestly, as to what they're really up to. But, there will come a time when those children grow up and they will wonder many things. They will wonder why they can't be friends with their cousin who's going to be a king one day, why they haven't met in them. They won't remember either of their grandfathers. And people mind about those sort of things, and they'll wonder why, and they'll ask questions. And, they're trying to bring them up in privacy, but they're trying to bring them up in California. Well, the Wales children go very discreetly to school in England and are very well protected. And, well, we know the name of the school, but there's never been any security threats. But American schools are very dangerous, and you're always hearing all the things about, things with guns and so forth. I mean, and they are to be very high-profile children, not least because of the way they've been exploited on social media. The only way I feel sorry for them is because I think they're being awfully stupid and doing very silly things. And I feel sorry for Prince Harry because he's been sort of caught up in all this. I know he's complicit in it. I mean, he looks, by and large, most of the time, utterly miserable.
If the commission determines that everything meets the required standards, recognition could be restored. But if not, the outcome could have long-term consequences for titles, roles, and future royal involvement. This is why people are saying this moment feels so serious. Public reaction has been split, with some supporting the review process and others sympathizing with Harry's position. Online discussions have exploded, with different sides pushing completely different narratives. Right now, the monarchy is facing a deeply personal and highly public challenge, and the final decision could shape how these situations are handled for years to come. And with everything now in motion, the countdown to that decision has officially begun. Everything is now coming down to one final decision, and the pressure couldn't be higher. The Royal Commission for Lineal Ethics and Continuity, RCLEC, has completed its review, and as of February 13th, 2026, a verdict is being finalized. The key question is simple, but massive. Do Archie and Lilibet officially belong within the House of Windsor under royal standards? The final report, built from several days of reviewing records, financial details, and private testimonies, is now in the hands of just 3 people: Prince William, Princess Anne, and the Lord Chancellor. While the outcome is still sealed, the impact is already being felt everywhere.
She wants us to put together a fruit crudité board for our children in the morning. Now, look, Maureen,
I can't.
Look at this.
I can't.
It is huge. It starts with strawberries, and then it has raspberries, and then it has apricots, and then it has mandarin oranges, and then it has pineapples, and then it has blueberries, and then you finish it up with dollops of yogurt. Now, I'd love to have a running clock, and how long it would take me to go, let's do something fancy, Whole Foods, right? Where you get the true organic, to go and shop for, 8 fruits? Get all the fruits, get them home, wash them, let them dry out, cut them all up, cutting like teeny tiny apricot pieces up, not to mention pineapples, which is a pain in the ass. Oh, and then bananas too, I forgot she added those as well. And then laying them out. And she's like, if you don't have time to do this big thing, you can just do it like a single plate style. That alone, with all I just said, with cutting and buying and cleaning and chopping, would be probably an hour. My morning is like, here is a piece of toast. I'm Martha Stewart. You're welcome. When my guest comes, I had a guest come over last night because they came to see Audley at the play. And I was...
At the same time, Meghan Markle is reportedly preparing to speak out. Sources say she has recorded an interview set to drop right after the verdict is announced. It's expected to be emotional and direct, focusing on her experience as a mother and her response to everything that's happened. In that recording, she reportedly says, "I carried my children, I gave birth to them. Now they're being erased." She also frames the situation as something bigger than just royal procedure, calling it a matter of control and power. The interview is said to be produced independently and will be released online across multiple platforms, which means it could reach millions instantly. Meanwhile, Prince William is preparing his own statement to attunement, and it's expected to take a very different tone. His message, reportedly titled around lineage and constitutional duty, is said to focus on responsibility over emotion. One line that insiders claim stands out is, "This decision was not made with malice. It was made with duty." That alone shows how serious this has become. But here's where things take an unexpected turn. A leaked travel record suggests that Prince Harry may be planning a return to the UK, possibly with Archie and Lilibet. The details haven't been confirmed, but the report mentions a private flight from California scheduled to land shortly after the verdict. If true, some believe this could be a powerful move, showing up in person rather than continuing the situation from a distance. Others, though, are questioning whether it's a strategic play or something else entirely. Outside Buckingham Palace, media presence is already building, and headlines are spreading fast across Europe. People are deeply divided. Some are backing Meghan's side, others support William's decision, and many see Harry caught in the middle of it all. Now everything depends on that final ruling. If the decision goes in favor of Archie and Lilibet, they could be fully restored within this royal system with titles, recognition, and future rights. But if it goes the other way, the outcome could permanently close that door. And with that verdict just moments away, this situation is about to reach its most defining moment yet. And now everything is about to reach its final breaking point. If the ruling goes against Archie and Lilibet, every claim tied to royal status could be wiped away completely. Titles, recognition, and even future ceremonial roles would be off the table, and any public use of royal styling could face serious pushback. There's also talk that Prince Harry himself could face consequences if officials decide there was any kind of misrepresentation involved. But at the same time, there's still one final layer to this. The power to accept or reject the ruling ultimately sits with the crown, or in this case, the Prince of Wales. All signs suggest Prince William is ready to stand by whatever decision comes through, no matter how heavy it is. This isn't just about personal feelings anymore. It's about how the monarchy defines legitimacy moving forward. What started as a private situation has now turned into something global. People everywhere are debating the same question. Is being born into it enough, or does the crown have the final say on who truly belongs? 2 brothers, 2 children, one royal system under pressure like never before. And with the final answer just around the corner, this story is about to take a turn that could shape the future of the monarchy for years. If you made it this far, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates like this. And don't miss the next video on your screen. There's more celebrity drama waiting for you there. See you in the next one.